Well, we can go ahead and get started. Well, hello, everybody. Hope you guys are all excited. I'm excited because I definitely need this because genuinely, this past Thanksgiving, I was acting up, eating everything, everything I could find, to be honest, especially since, I said I was going to start my healthy girl journey. But it's okay because that's why we have this. And I think that's why I ate the way I did because of this. And I knew what I was doing.
Yes,
Yeah, we do have Dr. Chi with us. Dr. Chi, how are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
We're happy. I don't, Dr. Chi, I definitely needed this. And I know
Okay.
I'm just like, I hope everybody else is super excited, just as excited as I am, because this is definitely something where, you know, this is something that we need. So,
Absolutely. I agree.
yeah. So just as everybody's coming in, welcome everybody. Welcome. Um, And then also, if you guys want to speak in the chat, if you guys have any questions, any things that pop up, any other questions that are going to be asked outside of the questions that we're asking, definitely put them in the chat. Say what you want to say in this chat. We're all open ears. We'll make sure to answer whatever questions that you need us to answer. We're having our eyes on everything. So yeah, so we can go ahead and start. And I just want to say thank you again, Dr. G, for just being here with us today.
Of course. Well, thank you for having me. And hi, everyone. Thanks for joining tonight as we talk about the lovely gut.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Okay. So, but as Dr. Chi, you can also introduce yourself. I don't even think I ever said that, but
Oh, okay.
introduce yourself. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I
hi,
do.
everyone. I'm Dr. Chi. I am a board certified family medicine physician, specializing in nutrition and health. I work full time as a hospitalist physician in Houston. So, I treat patients hospital medicine when they get admitted. That's me who's taking care of them, treating them, and then discharging them to appropriate places. And outside of that, if you don't know, I'm on social media. I do a little fun there, ask underscore Dr. Chi, and also focus on mental health advocate for sure. And what I love about gut health is that there is a transition or a balance with those two together. So gut health, mental health, they connect. So we'll talk about that today. But I just want you guys to get some good gems tonight. I want you guys to, if you have notes, take notes because you will learn something today that you can use and apply for your everyday life. And my goal for you today or tonight is to learn something that will help you be better in your health overall so that you can learn something that you can tell your daughter, your son, your mom, whoever it is, your loved one, on how to heal their guts and reset their gut and just be better overall for your well-being. So I'm excited. Let's go.
Get into let's get, and I have my notes, my notebook and my paper on the side. So yeah,
Perfect.
my pen and my notebook. But yes, let's get started. So first things first, what is unique about gut health in Black women?
Okay, so I would just say gut health and period is important. Like I just mentioned, the gut health is the foundation to a lot of our predispositions in our health. It is a gateway to our mental health, a gateway to our physical health, and it can control a lot of our chronic conditions. So in any way, it's important to everyone. But specifically for Black women, there are higher rates of conditions like IBS that's in Black women. Black women have higher rates of lactose intolerance, higher rates of fibroids. So those all can be tied to your gut health. And of course, we all know there's systemic stressors, there's racism, there's health disparities, there's all these things that can exacerbate gut issues. And so, because of that, we need to know that through chronic stresses, this is how we need to pay more attention to our gut health so that we can heal these conditions and we can be better as Black women to know that it's not just me, it's what I'm doing that can prevent these conditions from happening. And so I'm happy that we are here today. Whatever color, shade, whoever you are, it's important to take care of that gut because it does influence a lot of factors when you're with your health.
Definitely, because I love my dairy, but it definitely messes with my gut 100%. Next
Mhm.
question is, what is the gut microbiome and why is it important to our gut health?
Okay, so we're getting to the basics of guts. What is the gut? So a lot of people maybe don't understand what the gut microbiome really is. So when you're talking about a gut microbiome, you're talking about a collection of microorganisms that could be bacteria, fungi, viruses that basically just live in your digestive tract. It plays a crucial role in your digestion, your immune function, and anything that you absorb from nutrients, like I mentioned before, your mental health. And we, I would say it's normally called the second brain, honestly. The gut is considered the second brain because there is a direct connection from your gut to your brain, gut brain axis. They are directly related and directly linked. It communicates, the gut communicates to the brain. They communicate to each other. And one of the biggest players is the vagus nerve. I'm not sure if you guys heard of the vagus nerve, but the vagus nerve is a nerve that connects from your brainstem to your intestine, and it acts as like basically a superhighway to the brain and can deliver information that helps control digestion, your heart rate, your respiration, even your mood. Um, I don't know if you've ever meditated and you've taken, deep breaths. That vagus nerve is impacted there. When you're taking deep breaths, it goes through your diaphragm and it actually sends off signals to slow down your heart rate. So you can see just by breathing, you can slow down a lot of things. You can improve your mood, your how you're acting, your respirations, just by this vagus nerve being impacted. So the more you are able to settle this vagus nerve down, you're able to control a lot of things that communicates from your gut to your brain. So if you have a very balanced microbiome, this can support your overall health. You can literally heal yourself by balancing your gut. And I'm sure we'll get into how to do that, but for now, just for sure, know that the microbiome is a collection of a lot of things, and it can control your chronic conditions, your mood, and inflammation throughout your whole body.
Mm, got it. And I've actually heard that too, and I've heard that a lot that your gut is like your second brain, and if
Mm-hmm.
your gut's off, then it's like you think it's a lot. And I was just like, wow, I just never knew that. And also,
Yeah.
everybody, if you did not know, please make sure you put all your comments and any questions in the chat. Tell us where you are as well. We're super excited to hear from you guys. We
Oh,
love
yes, please.
webinars. So yes, please definitely let us know.
Mm-hmm.
So how can someone tell if their gut health is out of balance?
So a lot of us deal with signs every day, of an imbalanced gut. We may not know it's a sign, but because we either ignore it or we don't think it's a sign, but a lot of us see those imbalances every day. If you're bloated, that's a sign of imbalance. If you're constipated and not having normal, regular bowel movements, that could be a sign of not being balanced. If you are having diarrhea or excessive gas, even being fatigued and not tolerating certain foods, that can tell you that your digestion in your gut is not balanced. You may even notice some skin issues. You may even notice you're breaking out acne. You may even notice that your eczema is on flare, has a flare. That could give you another sign that your gut health is not balanced. It's a lot of people don't realize that what they're eating is contributing to what their outside is showing. So I guarantee you, like 50% or maybe even more of your diet is likely causing some type of inflammation. And it's your job to listen closely to your body and try to see what's those triggers that is causing this inflammation, this what's causing you to have these breakouts on your skin, and take note of those things, because you may notice that you're fine for the first 5 days of the week, and then on the weekends when you do drink a glass of wine or you do end up eating a burger, something is in those foods that is contributing to these breakouts. And so it's good for you to recognize these signals, because like I will continue to stress, your gut is playing a big role in a lot of your outer effects of your body. So I personally had to recognize this. It actually had a very impact on my mental health. I noticed that the food choices was impacting my mental health, but it's almost like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Is my mental health causing me to eat bad and sugary foods and processed foods, or is the processed foods causing me to be depressed and sad and moody? So you have to break that cycle. First, you have to recognize that it's happening and break the cycle. Start choosing better foods and then see what happens. You will notice, I've noticed that when I change my foods into the healthier, fiber rich, gut healthy type foods, I'm noticing I am lighter, I am happier, I'm not bloating. It makes a big difference. It truly does. And I even counsel to my patients when they're coming in with CHF and uh, high blood pressure and diabetes. I would tell them, you would realize you'll be so surprised the things that you're eating is bringing you back into the hospital constantly. If you would just change your food habits consistently, I won't see you again in the hospital. I guarantee you I won't see you again. But it's very hard because of the society that we live in the world that we live in and what is offered to us. It's not our fault, but we're fed all of these things from any type of processed foods that we're thinking is healthy. They're marketing it as healthy. And we don't know how to read the label. We don't know what is good for our bodies. We're not taught that. Like, who's teaching us what is good and what is bad? So it's not your fault, it's not our fault of the things that we're not, or the foods that we're eating that's bad for us. It's just that we just don't know any better. And so things like these Zooms are good for you to educate yourself, educate your friend, educate your family member, so they can recognize, oh, if you eat that, you're going to be sad. Like, there is a direct correlation, a direct link between what you're eating and how you're feeling. There's no doubt about that.
And I know because when I actually eat my greens, for real, I actually feel so much lighter on my feet. I feel better. I'm not as bloated.
Mm-hmm.
But I know when I have dairy, and I'm a sucker for dairy, especially mac and cheese. Like, mac and cheese is my thing. But I know when I
Yep.
have it, I'm literally, I have to mentally prepare myself. Like, you're gonna feel like trash. But it's okay because
Yeah.
sometimes it's like it's either, oh, what I want or what I need. And it's like
Yeah.
I need to choose what I need more than what I want. So
Yeah.
that
And it's okay not to be perfect. No one's asking people to be perfect, but it's to recognize which foods are good for you and which ones you like, if I have this dairy, this is the effect of it. So I'm only going to limit myself once a month or every 6 weeks or something like that. So where you are able to balance, have that good balance between vegetables, fruits, extra rich, extra fiber foods, like, what is good for you. You know what you need for your body. So it's important just to recognize it. So that's good that you do.
we all do. We all do. So how does stress impact gut health and how can it be managed?
So stress directly affects that gut health, the gut brain axis that I mentioned earlier. Um, if you have a lot of us are stressed. I'm stressed every day. There's some type of stressor that occurs. Um, and so once you're stressed, it can impact that motility or how your bowels are moving. If you are stressed, it kind of shocks it and you're in a, oh my gosh, or fight or flight mode. All those senses are not going to your gut. Those senses are going to your brain, and your brain is like, what am I doing next? What am I gonna do next? And it forgets, like, hey, gut's here, help me out here. So you're not gonna poop. You're gonna feel bloated. You're not gonna process things right. You're gonna feel inflamed, because your natural response to stress is not, let me digest my food and let me have a nice no, it's my brain, let's go, I gotta fix this, gotta fix it. So when you do have stress, your microbiome is out of whack. You may have inflammation. um, I don't know if you guys ever have this experience, but this is how you know that your gut is related to your brain. If you ever had, like, been really really anxious about something, you don't know what's going on, like, and you're just like super anxious, your body's moving, everything's moving, the blood's flowing, you're just like, okay, I can't really move, I can't really do anything. But then you actually have a bowel movement, like an anxious poop. I don't know if that's happened to you, but people call it anxious poop. It's because things are just moving out of where, like they don't know what's happening. Your body is literally, your brain connects to your gut that much that it just like, okay, like whatever, just do something. And you actually have a bowel movement because it's not a surprising reaction. This is signaling your brain, it's giving your gut something that it doesn't even know what to do. So chronic stress, it can exacerbate health conditions. If you have IBS or you have lupus, things like that, it can legit cause a flare because you are stressed. Um, and how can you manage it? Mindfulness practices, exercise, adequate sleep. Sleep is a big one. People underestimate the power of sleep. Um, Supplements, good supplements, can also help. Different ways that you personally can do to manage stress. Now, everyone's different in how they manage their stress levels. Some people may like taking a walk outside. Some people like doing yoga. Other people just need to do nothing, and that's perfectly fine. So everyone's different how they manage stress, but any type of way that you do, it will help with your gut.
Got it. Also just want to apologize to everybody as well, like who wasn't able to write their comments in the chat, but the chat, you can now start writing in the chat, you guys. So we're super excited. Make sure you guys put all of your questions, all of your comments, anything that you want to ask, definitely put it in the chat. And yes, I definitely have those anxious poops, especially when I get nervous. I used to play basketball in high school, and right before game and a practice, because I knew I would start running, so then the stomach would start acting some type of way. And then right before a game, those are the two main things. And I knew it was coming. It's just like, just go prepare.
Yeah, yeah, it happens. It's real. I had one before my wedding. Like it's a real thing. Very anxious.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So yes. Oops, so sorry. What? Just want to make sure. Oh, got it. Okay. So next question is how is gut health linked to weight loss, skin conditions, energy levels, or mental health?
Okay, I think we touched base
We did.
on these, but I'll just reiterate. Um, so having a very balanced microbiome, it improves the metabolism, it can reduce inflammation, and it can just overall support a very healthy weight. So by default, if you're eating healthier, you're eating cleaner, you're going to lose weight. Your gut's going to be happy. It's going to metabolize things very smoothly. You're going to have normal bowel movements. You're not going to be super inflamed. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to have more energy, and more energy means you're more active. And so by default, you're going to lose weight. So it's very supportive. Um, and as far as the skin conditions, like I mentioned, you could have acne flare ups, eczema flare ups. Um, if your gut is imbalanced, it could lead to just inflammation overall, triggering that acne, that rosacea, things like that, other kind of skin conditions. As far as your energy levels, I just mentioned poor gut health affects nutrient absorption, which can lead to fatigue. And again, well, actually, I will mention this about mental health. So a lot of people don't know this, but the happy hormone, which is serotonin, is actually produced majority in the gut. And only a small portion is produced in the brain. And so, if you have an imbalance in your gut, you're not able to produce that happy hormone of serotonin. And so, a lack of this plays a role in depression, anxiety, mood changes. And it's just that communication from the gut to the brain that influences all of these. So, it's just a fun fact that I know many people don't know that, but that's why it's so important to keep your gut in check because you need that serotonin, that happiness, that the overall good mood to keep you in check. And so when I was in that very depressed mood and I was eating poorly, I wasn't producing serotonin very well. My gut wasn't happy. I was having the bad bacteria in my gut versus the good bacteria that is needed to sustain a very happy, healthy mindset with that serotonin. So it all connects. It really all connects. So yeah.
Definitely. Oh, yeah, I'm taking all the notes down because this
I
is
love
actually
it.
necessary. Also in the chat, we have some people from North Carolina. We have some people from New
Hey.
York, Connecticut. So hey, y'all.
Oh, all over the place.
Right.
I love it. I
Everywhere,
love it.
literally everywhere. Someone did ask, can the order you eat things or the speed in which you eat things, can that affect your gut health as well?
The speed. That's a good question. So if you're eating actually depends on what you're eating. What are you eating super fast? Are you eating berries really fast or are you eating a hamburger really fast? So if you are eating something that's healthy, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. But if you are eating something that's fuller, that requires a lot of digestion, and you may have some unfortunate effects of like reflux can play a role into a bad imbalance of your gut because you're having that acid come back up. So you're not digesting very well either in that. So yes, it could play a role. Taking smaller bites, chewing your food, enjoying your food. And that also plays a role in just maintaining your weight because you're not ingesting so much. You're actually eating because you're hungry and you can actually feel when you're full so that you can stop. If you're eating so fast, you'll never get that trigger to stop because you're like, I'm not full yet. I'm just going to keep going. So it's a food
Yeah,
cycle.
that's definitely an issue that I know that well, I definitely eat a little fast. And something about that, especially when I know that I'm eating too fast, my gut starts to hurting, my stomach starts hurting. And it's just like I have to be very mindful, especially of how fast I'm eating.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm eating something good that I know I'm not gonna have for a while. Something I definitely need to know.
You are honest. I love it.
Right. Right. So what small daily habits can improve gut health?
Small daily habits. So if you don't take anything from tonight, just take these three letters, and it's the three F's. Um, the three F's would be fitness, fasting, and fermented foods. Those in general will encompass a healthy gut. So fitness, obviously, exercise, stay not necessarily having to go to the gym for 10 hours or 3 hours, just some type of movements, whether that's walking outside, doing some yoga in front of YouTube in your house. Those are considered fitness. Fasting. So doesn't you don't have to fast for 24 hours, more so just fasting a small fast in the morning, as long as you're getting at least 12 hours from when you go to bed from the night before to the next morning, that's considered a good healthy fast for you. And then we're at fiber fermented foods. Those are the fiber rich foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and then the fermented foods would be like yogurts, kimchi. And when I say yogurt, I'm not talking about the yogurt that has all the extra fruits
Sugar.
and the extra things that they put in it, the extra sugars, and to make it all sweet and stuff. Purpose of what a yogurt is supposed to do. I'm talking about just plain good yogurt with maybe some honey in there as well. That's okay. Greek yogurt, I love Greek yogurt. So those are the good fiber-rich foods that can help with your gut health. So those habits, if you take those three things in mind, you're already like good to go. Things that can help with that is drinking plenty of water. That can help in digestion and reducing processed foods. Processed foods is on my list of I love it, but it's bad for me, bad for all of us. And that's probably one of the things that we have to be mindful of is reducing those processed foods. There are ultra processed foods, there are minimally processed foods, there are moderate processed foods. We just have to know the difference. And that could be a whole nother conversation. If there's a question on that, I'm glad to go into processed foods. But reducing the amount of processed foods would be key to improve your daily habits or improve your gut health with your daily habits. So remember those three F's. If you take nothing from this talk, three F's.
Got it.
Yeah.
So is there a certain brand of yogurt that you prefer, or does that matter, or is
Um,
Greek yogurt.
No, it's not necessarily the brand, and I don't have one in mind that's like take this brand. It's what is added to those brands that makes it an issue. Like Yoplait, I know they always have blueberry flavor, peach flavored, all this stuff like that destroys the main purpose of a fermented food. It's because it's adding so much sugar, it's adding all these ingredients of processing that is unnecessary for you. So there's no particular brand. It's more so the wholeness of the yogurt itself. Just keep it simple. Try not to include all those extra things in it to make it what it is. If you want something sweet, take a plain yogurt, put some honey, and even get some fresh blueberries or strawberries, and put it and add it in there. Make your own parfait. Don't buy a ready-made parfait because they have preservatives in there to keep it fresh for 2 weeks. That's not what you want. You want something that that is fresh and will do its job to help with your gut.
Got it. Fresh yogurt, y'all.
Fresh
Fresh
yogurt.
fruit, fresh yogurt, no additives, none of that. Okay. And actually, ever since I started eating plain Greek yogurt, or ever since I started eating Greek yogurt, now like any type of like Yoplait or anything like that, it's more sweeter for me compared to when I used
Yeah,
to like it. So I think even changing the type of yogurt you like, it definitely helps as well.
yeah.
So next question I have is, how long does it typically take to notice improvements in your gut after making lifestyle changes?
So everyone's different, but you can literally reset your gut within 10 days. 10 days, you will notice an effect. Some people can notice it within 3 days, 5 days. But to really feel like, oh, wow, this is a difference, 10 days is a good reset time where you're doing all of those things I just mentioned before, change the daily habits and the 3 F's. If you do that consistently for 10 days, you will notice some really good improvements of just your lifestyle in general. Long term, to see the long term benefits, to really see that consistent change with your chronic conditions or your skin, things like that, it will take a few months for like a complete gut restoration. But it only takes about 60 days to make a habit. So if you do these things for 2 months, it will be part of your life. So literally, really just take your time and find out what can I do that is not hard, and I can incorporate this in my diet. I'm not trying to be perfect. I know this is going to take time, but doing these habits every day, changing one thing at a time, you will notice a difference within days. You will notice a difference. I challenge all of you, do a 10-day reset gut challenge with just um, reducing those processed foods, increasing the amount of water you take every day, and including fiber rich foods. Do those vegetables, including those fruits, even whole grains, and fermented foods with the yogurt and things like that. You will notice a tremendous difference. And a lot of it, you will be surprised if once you reduce those processed foods, you'll be like, oh, wow, I'm lighter. I'm sleeping better. I'm actually sleeping through the night. I actually have more energy today. Let me go take a walk. Like I notice it very often when I do that reset. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the reason why I was tired. I was eating bad. Like that is literally the answer most times. That is the answer majority of the time. So yeah.
Definitely not. And honestly, it all takes consistency and doing the good things. So even
Mm-hmm.
if you don't see it, because I think sometimes we're just like, we need to see it in like 2 weeks or like a week. It's just consistency.
Right.
As time goes, you'll start seeing differences in your
Mm-hmm.
body and just how you feel. So that's definitely key. Next question is, how does irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, affect gut health and how can it be managed?
So, for those who don't know what IBS is, it's basically just like a collection of GI symptoms that you can experience. Some people, it's common, but I think a lot of it's triggered because of what you're eating. But you experience pain, you can experience cramping, you can have significant diarrhea that comes and goes, or you can have constipation and you just can't figure out what is going on. You don't know what you call it, but if you're experiencing these group of symptoms on and off for some time, you likely have IBS. But IBS does disrupt that gut motility, like I mentioned, and it causes those symptoms. Anything that you can do to manage it is, I would say it's hard because you don't know what's triggering it. And so you have to start kind of from scratch and eliminating a lot of things from your diet and then introducing things slowly to know what is the cause of this issue I'm having with the pain, the cramping, the diarrhea. Like, what is it that's causing it? So you start by eliminating the biggest things, which is like the carbs, the gluten, those, fried foods, of course, fast foods. You take the major things out of your diet and then you start introducing it one by one and finding out, oh, okay, I ate this asparagus today. This is why maybe something in the asparagus that's causing me to have these symptoms. Because your gut can be sensitive. A lot of people have sensitive guts. They don't tolerate much things. And it can cause so much inflammation in different areas. They don't even know what they're doing or what they're eating or what they're drinking. And so you just have to be mindful. So a lot of those ways to manage IBS is to find out what is your trigger. And sometimes it could be stress. It could be something that's stressing you out, that's external, that's stressing your gut out because, like you mentioned, there's connection between your brain and your gut. And then probiotics is helpful for IBS. And if it gets too severe and you need medication, you would see your doctor. They could treat the constipation, they can treat the diarrhea. You can take medications to help with the pain. So those are more conservative methods if you can't find the trigger for IBS. So
Got it. Definitely taking notes, y'all. Make sure y'all taking notes. Okay. So what types of food cause serious bloating and gas? I know in me, I know exactly what does. It's definitely dairy. I know
okay, got a
just-
little lactose sensitivity there.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you know?
I know all I know is dairy, but the thing is that I love yogurt. Like I love yogurt. So then it's like yogurt is also beneficial, but because I noticed that my stomach feels some type of way when I have it, it's kind of like how do I work with it? Because I also see some people in the comments saying some fermented foods, they
Yeah.
can't eat it, but it's kind of like how do they also get that type of food in their system to help with their gut health as well.
Right. Yeah. Like everyone's different of how they are able to manage. So some people may be able to tolerate some of the fermented foods, but other people will be like, oh, that's too high on my list, so I can't. It causes me to get to be bloated. And that's fair. As long as you recognize it, then you know how to eliminate it. But some type of foods that cause the bloating, most culprits you can say it's beans. I'm sure a lot of you guys kind of figure that one. Some type of vegetables can cause it, broccoli, cabbage, carbonated drinks can cause bloating and gas. And then like high fat foods, fried foods, those can all cause bloating and gas. My biggest food, or I guess you can say group of types of intake that you're eating and you don't know it and don't realize it's causing bloating are artificial sweeteners. There are artificial sweeteners in a lot of the foods out there now because they're advertising as no sugar, minimal sugar, and it may be causing you to be bloated and gassy. Sorbitol, that's an example of a artificial sweetener that can cause a lot of bloating, a lot of cramping, and even diarrhea. Some people are very intolerant to even a small amount of sorbitol. And then you also have mannitol. Mannitol is actually like a laxative, so it can cause you to have diarrhea. I know for me, if I eat like sugar-free jelly beans, I'm done. Like I'm bloated and I'm on the toilet. So I have to literally stay away from those because I know those artificial sweeteners are doing it for me. And I have to, it's like a no-go. So there's certain sugar alcohols and that can cause the same symptoms. You just have to be mindful of it. So if you're saying, oh, I'm eating a bag of snacks that say sweet sugar free, so I'm good. Like, no, you're not really good because now you're kind of disrupting that gut again, and you have to kind of reset it again. So be very careful. That gut bacteria really needs the lining to be okay. And sometimes those artificial sweeteners will break through those lining of your intestine. And that's why you get that bloating and that cramping when you're trying to eat that sugar free snack, because it's not entirely good for you fully.
Yeah.
Small amounts, maybe, but if you're eating a gummy situation like I do, it's not a good idea.
I think it's because you see sugar free, you're just like, okay, that's good for me. I can have
Yep,
it. But it's like, no, it's still not as good, you know?
yep.
Um, so definitely something keep in mind, because I also seen another comment, somebody saying that your blood types, they said that your blood type can also kind of tell you the type of foods that you can eat. So is that something that
I've never read into that. I would have to see if there's any studies related to that. I haven't seen a direct link to
got
the the blood type to what you can tolerate, because there's an array of different sensitivities people, and it's hard to just connect it to a blood type. Because
got
of
it?
what I'm saying now, does anyone relate to me? And I say I'm a blood type O positive. Like, I don't know. If you do, let me know. They'll be like, oh shoot, we have a connection. Then there'll be, or if you have, you're saying, if I'm saying everything that I'm saying and I have it, and someone else with a blood type A is saying I have those too, then what is it then? So I've never seen the connection, but I'm actually wanting to look into that and find out.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
they stay bloated and not going to the bathroom. So they're continuously bloated, always bloated, but just not using the bathroom. What could be the cause?
So there could be a lot of different things that's going on. So it could be the type of foods that you're eating. There could be inciting something that's inciting the inflammation, the bloating, that you're just not aware of. Also, if you are, this is actually sounds like a sign of constipation. So a lot of people and myself didn't realize that I'm not getting enough fiber in my diet. So it could be a low fiber intake. It also could be you're not drinking enough. You could be dehydrated. So drinking enough fluids. I usually recommend 2 to 3 liters a day. That whole drinking a gallon a day is not entirely necessary. I just can't. Me personally, I just cannot drink a gallon. Like, that's just too much. It's just too much, and it's not necessary. There's also a thing where you drink too much water. Like, that can actually have a negative impact
Yeah,
on you. So just be mindful. A lot of fluid in your body can lead to a low sodium level, which is dangerous, very dangerous. So just be mindful. I'm not saying don't drink a liter, I mean a gallon. If you're active, you're exercising, then great, go for it. But me personally, I kind of stay in that 2 to 3 liter range. Also, it could be just like your gut microbiome imbalance. Something's not right there. So maybe you need to reset it. Maybe you need to figure out what is going on that needs to start a natural regulation going on there. Lack of exercise that could cause you to be bloated and not going to the bathroom, could be constipated. Um, and maybe even hormonal changes can cause you to feel bloated. Yeah, I know us women know a lot about that.
yeah,
So yeah, those are all options of why you're not going to the bathroom.
got it. Definitely got it. So what are some of the major reasons for hardened bowels?
So that kind of goes into hardened bowels is usually a symptom of constipation.
Hmm.
And if you're constipated, you're likely dehydrated. Hardened stools, like first thing when the patients come in and they're saying either they have abdominal pain or what have you, bloating, I ask them, how are your bowel movements? When's the last time you went? And if they say, oh, I went yesterday. And I was like, was it a full one? And they're like, oh, not really. And then I asked, was it hard? And they're like, yes, I was straining to get it out. Likely because they're dehydrated, they're constipated, they don't have enough fiber in their diet, um, and they're not very active. So those are all reasons why your stool are hard. So
Got it. Is there a certain amount of times, like a recommended amount of times per day that you're actually supposed to be going to the bathroom? Or does it just really depend on each
the
individual?
person. Yeah. So this is $1 million question with patients. It's like I can't go. Yeah, I haven't pooped. I'm just like, oh, okay. So some people are regular. Some people go every day. Awesome. I love it. That is amazing. Some people go twice a day. Even great, even better. Like I'm all for it. But there are some individuals, and myself included, that do not go every day, and that is okay sometimes. That is okay. If you are a type of person who knows, oh, I go every other day, and when you know that is disrupted, you're like, oh, I haven't been in 4 days, then that's a problem. Then you need to start looking at why you're constipated. But if you go every day and you don't go for the next 2, 3 days, then something's wrong again. You're not taking enough fiber or something's disrupted. So I think every individual is different. But at least if you need to go at least every two, no longer than 3 days to know that you are regular.
Got it. Taking note, because definitely got to make sure. What's the difference between prebiotics and probiotics, and do I need both?
Oh, okay. So I think I did a reel on this. So prebiotics and probiotics, they are just like a happy couple that is good for your gut health. So the probiotics are usually the live bacteria that support the gut health. And the prebiotics are the fibers that feed these live bacteria. So when you have both of these together, they work beneficial for each other. And it's basically, and it helps with the balanced microbiome. So do you need both? Not necessarily. You'll be fine with just probiotics. But if you have both, that's just a bonus. So yeah, it's a bonus. I think those are the differences between it. To answer everything for that one? Or is there more explanations you want?
I think you answered everything. I definitely think, yeah, I take a probiotic. I don't take a
You take
probiotic.
a probiotic?
Take a probiotic, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's not necessary to have to take a pre and a pro.
Hmm.
I think it just kind of helps. And a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of foods and products out there are advertising as prebiotic, and they're saying they're prebiotic just because they have some type of fiber in them, and they're not necessarily a prebiotic. So just be mindful on that. um, they're just advertising it that way. Like for instance, is it Poppy? Yeah, Poppy. They
Yeah.
advertise as a prebiotic carbonated drink. Is it really a prebiotic? Not really, but it sounds fun and it makes it, they're able to sell it that way because prebiotics are not regulated. So there's no regulation on a prebiotic. So they're able to say that because if you go to their ingredients, they probably have some form of a fiber in there.
Hmm.
And so now it's considered a prebiotic. But
Got it.
don't drink poppy and take your probiotic pills thinking that you're doing something great for your gut when you're really not. Just drink water.
The water is the key. Your water. And it's really 2 to 3 liters, not even a whole gallon. Because I used to
Not
try
even
to
a
do
whole
a
gallon.
gallon. And I'm
Don't kill
like, I'm
yourself.
not even halfway done. I'm like, I
I
can't do
can't come and
it.
kill myself.
Yeah,
No, no,
no,
ma'am.
bro. So should you take a probiotic daily or prebiotic or probiotic, whichever you choose? Should you take it daily?
You can take it daily. It will not hurt if you take it daily. It will help. It will only help, especially if you haven't mastered your gut health and your microbiome of your gut. But if you are pretty consistent, you're eating healthy, you're eating all your fibers, you're getting your vegetables, you're getting your fruit in, you're getting your fermented foods in. Do you need a probiotic? No, because you're already getting it from the yogurt. You're
Mm.
already getting it from your kimchi. So you're already getting those from the natural products. So you don't have to take an extra probiotic pill. But if you know I don't like yogurt or I can't tolerate yogurt, then yes, adding a supplement of the probiotic will do great for you. It would only help your gut microbiome in general for your digestion and everything else.
Got it, got it. Okay, definitely taking note. So can you discuss acid reflux and natural ways to manage it in addition to your diet or to diet and how you eat?
So acid reflux, some people call it GERD, gastro, like the whole reflux disease. But it basically, when, like I mentioned earlier, when your stomach acid flows back into the esophagus. And so there are some natural remedies that could help with that acid reflux. One of those is eating smaller meals or in taking smaller bites, avoiding triggers like spicy foods, fatty foods. those all take extra acid to like break all that stuff up. So if your body is trying to break all that up with all that acid, you're going to end up getting more backflow of the acid into the esophagus, and that will lead to more of the reflux symptoms. Um, when you're eating, I know this is maybe helpful, or you're like, what's I don't I get it, but when you're eating food, make sure that you're sitting up. I know it sounds weird me to say that, but if you're sleeping or like laying in the bed and you're eating, it's hard for the gravity to put that food down and completely go into the stomach. If you're lying down, it makes it harder, and so now you're gonna end up having some reflux going back up to the esophagus, and that could contribute to the symptoms. If you're having that burning, coughing, those are symptoms of acid reflux. So sitting up, I know it sounds weird that I have to tell someone this, but sitting up while you're eating helps to avoid acid reflux symptoms too. Um, what other things is good ways? Natural ways like ginger. Ginger can help with the reflux symptoms. Aloe vera juice. Those are also natural remedies for that. But yeah.
So I just started drinking aloe vera juice and I love it.
Oh,
I just It's
good.
so good. But I'm trying to find one that doesn't have too much sugar. So like what are
Yep.
ingredients that I should look for? Because the ones that I started drinking, it had a lot of sugar in it. And then I think a friend of mine, they told me this one, it had like a honeycomb on the actual bottle. I forgot what it was. So are there certain ingredients that you should look for when it comes to like the sugar content? Is there a certain amount of sugar content that can affect the gut when looking for aloe vera juice to drink?
That's a tough question because I haven't necessarily looked. I can't even say the word specifically at aloe vera juice ingredients itself. But I will say in general, when you are choosing the right, I guess, foods to eat, I mean, looking at the back of the label to see, is this highly processed? Does this have too much sugar count for me? One thing that I say to people is that when you look on the ingredients and you're reading the ingredients, and if you're able to take those same ingredients that it's labeled and make those ingredients in your kitchen, it's less processed. It's not as processed. It is minimally processed food. But if you look on that ingredients and there is color 14, there
Yeah.
is high like all these ingredients that you can barely
Yeah.
even say, it's a highly ultra processed food. The more it is, the worse it is. So just keep that in mind. So if you look on that back of that juice and it's just saying it has the aloe vera first product, it has water and it has sugar, you can make that in your kitchen.
Yeah.
You're in good hands. But if the sugar content or the carbohydrate content is pretty high, then you can always just dilute it with water. Just put some in there and then put more water in there. So that way you can balance it out. So that's a good trick for any ingredient.
Got it. Taking that down because I love aloe vera juice now. Love it.
Good. I love
So
it.
what is a great natural detox that you can do regularly? And how many times should you detox your gut in 2 months?
The word detox is tricky for me because I don't I don't think there's a natural detox per se, because if you are treating your gut with the appropriate things, which is the high fiber foods, drinking water, and reducing processed foods, then you are already naturally doing it well. So it's not necessarily a detox, but I guess you could say it's a reset. Um, and so that is something that you should do regularly, all the time. But if you're saying how many times should you detox your gut in 2 months, I don't think there's a time limit. It's just whenever you start getting those
Yeah.
imbalanced symptoms, like we mentioned before, like you're noticing you're more tired, you're bloating, you're constipated, you're feeling sad. If you're getting those type of symptoms, then you know something is wrong within your gut. And that is when you need to reset or detox and take those measures. But you don't need to do an extreme measure. You don't need to go online on Amazon and look for a detox for your gut. You don't need to do that. You don't need to have 10 bowel movements in the day to reset your gut. Don't do that. That is not the way to reset your gut. You just need to eat well consistently for 10 days and you've done yourself some good. So I hope I saved you guys some money.
Yeah, especially 10 days. Eat well for all you need is 10 days. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Thing in my head because it's necessary. So does intermittent fasting correct gut health? And I know you talked about that before, but does it correct gut health?
I think it plays a role in helping your overall imbalance and helps it balance it. I love intermittent fasting. I incorporate it into my lifestyle very often, especially when I'm trying to reset my life. But I usually have eating windows. So I would usually I would fast for from sleep, which would be about not really sleep, from my last meal, which is 8 to 9 p.m. And then I won't eat again until 12 the next day. And I would consider that my fasting period. For
Mm,
me, that helps with controlling my weight, it controls my energy. And so I personally love it. So as far as it improving your gut health, it improves it because I guess I have a less likelihood of eating the bad stuff in the morning.
mhm,
And it also gives my digestive system a rest, and it promotes more beneficial bacterial growth. So the more time it's resting, the more time that good bacteria is working and it's not disrupted. But it's not for everyone. Everyone doesn't have to fast that long. Like I mentioned, if your last meal's at 9 p.m. and you eat again at 9 a.m., that is a healthy fast. That is 12
mm,
hours you fasted because sleep does count. Your body is resting, your gut is resting. You are technically fasting, no matter what people say. Don't
mm.
starve yourself.
Yeah,
That is a good fast.
definitely. Because one thing I've noticed about myself is I'll have like those midnight cravings. And then it'll be like right before I go to sleep. It doesn't happen all the time, it happens sometimes. So since I have
Mm-hmm.
it right before I go to sleep, I wake up, my gut, I feel sick to the core. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I should never let my cravings talk me into eating it late at night. It was just so bad.
it's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we shouldn't beat ourselves up for those times when it does happen because we're not perfect. The biggest thing is that we come back from it, we reset, and just do better the next time. That's the biggest thing because I felt guilty. That's the biggest. I feel guilty when I have my favorite cookie or I go eat pasta. Like it's okay.
Yeah,
It is okay. It's the bigger scope of things of being consistent with the appropriate fiber rich foods. So it's okay. Don't beat yourself up.
got it. So how does BGV's gut health bundle, we have CMOS and probiotics, help improve
Mhm.
gut health? Take
So
probiotics.
CMOS is actually like a prebiotic. Like I mentioned, the prebiotic, it's like a prebiotic fiber. So together with the prebiotic and the probiotic, you have a happy couple and they help restore that microbiome. So together, they support digestion, they support immunity, they support how you feel. It's a good bundle. And so if you are resetting your health, you're setting your gut health, it will be a perfect way to start to introduce that bundle together. So I'm here for it. Yes, I am.
And I take the probiotic and it tastes like candy, so it just adds to
There you
it
go.
just adds
There
to
you
it. So
go.
it's a little dessert, even though it's good for the
Yeah,
gut, you
there
know.
are actually other supplements that actually play a role in gut health. It's not just CMOS, it's vitamin D, it's the multivitamins. Those all can contribute to your gut health. So it's not just one thing. You can take multiple vitamins, and they all kind of feed into the happy gut situation going on. So yeah.
Got it. Probiotics and sea moss. Happy gut. Happy gut. Okay. Happy gut.
Hmm.
But thank you so much. We'll definitely share the recording with all of you guys after the webinar. We're
Awesome.
definitely going to share it, but we do have a special discount code for you all, especially in this season of giving. So our special 20% off on all products, especially the sea moss and probiotics. Definitely good for the gut, happy health, you know? And we have our code Dr. G20. Okay. So make sure you guys definitely use the code and it's good on all products, but specifically, y'all get it for that gut health, the CMOS and probiotics. I take it daily, and y'all, when I'm not acting up and eating like Thanksgiving on a daily basis, literally. it literally saves my life, y'all. So definitely make sure that you
Awesome.
all definitely get that.
It
Thank you.
doesn't expire. Someone asked that. It doesn't expire. It's
Yes.
keeps going.
It 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 keeps going, y'all. It definitely keeps going. But definitely, I just want to say thank y'all so much. To everybody here with us. Thank you, Dr. Chi, for giving us the gems that we never knew that we needed, but we knew that we needed.
Aw,
Literally,
awesome.
my entire, like, I have notes and I have the three F's. If you guys forgot the three F's, I have the three F's in my notes, literally in my notes, and I made sure it's fitness, fasting, and fiber fermenting foods. And I'm gonna make sure I do the fitness because I can eat the foods. It's really just the fitness and being consistent in the fasting, even though
Yes.
fasting is sleeping, so you can do it while you're sleeping. It's just not eating it at night.
Yeah,
When I'm up late working on stuff and I'm like, let me get a snack. And I decide to eat like a chocolate chip cookie or like four of them. So, but
yeah.
thank y'all so, so much. Thank
Yeah, thank you guys. I hope you guys learned something. I know there was like a ton of questions in the chat box. I'm not sure if we can get through all of them. We got through all of them, but
we
I
got
hope if you, I'm sorry.
we got through a good amount of questions in
Oh,
the chat.
okay, good.
Right. So yeah, we definitely, I looked and I'm like, oh, that's a good question. Make sure I ask that there too, especially
Awesome. Well,
the
I
foods.
hope hope someone learned something today. So I hope we can do this again. Tell your mother, tell your daddy, tell your cousins, and whatever you learn that can help them be healthy and healthier and take ownership of their health. So thank you guys. Thanks for having me. Hope we can do this again.
Oh no, we're definitely gonna do it. We're definitely gonna do this again. Definitely gonna have this again. So guys, make sure you guys are in tune. Make sure you guys keep up, have all your notifications on when it comes to Black Girl Vitamins, because we have more webinars, more discussions, more talks, and all. But thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. And thanks so much, Dr. Chi. Like literally, gut health is on 10. And I can't wait to tell my family during Christmas and during the holiday season because they're gonna get all this information.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye, guys.
Dr. Chi. Bye, everyone.
I
Have a good
appreciate it.
evening.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.